Hi, I am here with a different kind of video than I normally do. I am going to be out of town soon to go on Disney, so I am pre-filming this. I am doing a Q&A video. I don't know if I've ever done one of these on this channel, so please let me know once this is all through if you like this type of video. Obviously, it's not something that I'm going to do regularly, but it'd be good maybe to do a couple of times a year. So if it's something you like, make sure you let me know down below. I asked questions on Instagram and YouTube. I think I actually got most of my questions on YouTube. I did a question thing on Instagram and I think I only got 2 replies unless I don't know how to check the answers to the question when I put it in my story. So if I missed your question, please put it down below and I'll try to answer it, or I will answer it in the comments. So my name is Heather and I am a full-time reseller. I do thrift mostly over in Omaha, Nebraska. I do 3 videos a week. So if you like reseller content and you're not currently subscribed, please consider doing that down below. You can hit the bell that says subscribe. You can hit the little bell next to it. Did I say you can hit the bell twice? You can hit the button that says subscribe. You can hit the bell next to it and you get notifications every time I put out a new video. If you give this video a thumbs up and comment anywhere along the way, it is a free way to help me out with my channel, so I would greatly appreciate that. We're gonna get right into these questions. A couple of them I was like, ugh, because my memory is really bad. So I'm gonna do my best to answer all of them well, and if you guys have anything like to reply on that or anything to say, any further questions, please let me know. Okay, so the first question I had is how often do you source? And this is not something that I have set up. So I would love to source every day. I don't, but sometimes when I'm not that busy, I would source 5 to 6 days a week. So lately I've been sourcing, looking for higher end items, which means I do have to go out more. I'm currently putting out 15 listings a day, but I'm listing 20. I'm putting 20 into my drafts. So that helps me build up a draft bank, which has been great because there's been some days where I've just been really busy with church and things like that, and I'm able to just still put out my eBay drafts and then quickly cross list to the other things from there. So yeah, I don't have a for sure answer on that. I would say at least 4 times a week, but it just depends on my schedule. I do not have a set schedule of I am going sourcing on this day at this time. So kind of depends, but yeah. How did you learn about keywords? So keywords, I learned a lot from other YouTubers. I've learned basically everything I know for free on YouTube. So that's kind of why I wanted to start this channel, because I want to help you guys. And this is a free way for you to learn about reselling. I had considered a couple of times maybe joining some groups, but I never did. If I did ever join a group, it would be Tech and Sports. He used to do a videos channel with Chris at Daily Refinement. Now he has branched off on his own. He used to be the top reseller in I think every men's category. So he is like the king of eBay. He knows what he's talking about. So if you are on eBay, I would suggest following his channel, Tech in Sports, like Tech, T-E-C-H, letter N, Sports. He has a YouTube, he has a Instagram as well. But yeah, I learned a lot of stuff from him on eBay. And as far as the keywords, part of it, I just did my research. Like, I think you can go online and put in like current style keywords or current trends. And I think Depop might have some on there. So when you go on Depop and you are filling in your item specifics, there's certain keywords that they already have pre-populated and you can choose from those. So that's a way that I learned some of them. On Mercari, when you put in hashtags, you can put up to 5 hashtags and you will start typing one in, like say office, and it'll show you how many listings have that. So I feel like the more listings that are on there, the better that keyword is. So I make sure I just use relevant ones. But yeah, basically I learned it from watching other like seasoned good resellers. Right now I still like to watch Kaylee Elaine. I like to watch Jack and Ryan. I like to watch Keegan, the teen reseller. I watch McThriftsy. I watch Quenby, Kelly Schaffner. I don't watch that might sound like a ton, but I have like probably 10 or under that I really like, I watch all the time. And then I watch my Disney videos. So yeah, I would say watch resellers that have been doing this for a while that you know have success, not people that just have a big following, but like they're actually making good money from this. And yeah, that's how I learned. Also Poshmark, when you're doing your listings on there, it has a spot where you can add in 3 different keywords. So start typing something in there, check there. Those would be keywords to use in your title. Next, how do you figure out the sell-through rate? So this is something that you can do on eBay. I'll show you on my phone. Sell-through rate, in my opinion, is like huge, and it's super important, especially when you're first starting out, because you want to get those items sold, get that profit, and get that money to make new items. So when you're on your eBay homepage, you're just gonna use this top search bar. So I'm going to search Eileen Fisher cashmere cardigan. So you want to be fairly specific. Like if you just put in Eileen Fisher cardigan, that's going to bring up a lot of different things. If you are looking specifically for the sell-through rate on a cashmere, you want to put that. There's some items where color can matter, like black might sell better than purple. So you can decide how detailed you want to go on that. I try to keep it not super detailed, but not like extremely broad, because you could put in like Polo Ralph Lauren shirt and there is like tons of those and a lot of it oversaturated. But if you have a certain type that's like it's a rugby shirt or it's the big pony shirt, like that makes a difference. So you do want to be somewhat specific. So once you put that in there, you just push the search button down at the bottom, and you can see down at the very bottom right here, this is going to show you the last 90 days. There's 410 Eileen Fisher cardigan, cashmere cardigan sweaters. And then, oops, you go to filter. So that's right up here. I suppose I could have done a screen recording, but sorry, I hope you guys don't mind that. And then you scroll down and you will see where it has a thing where you can like toggle over on sold. So you want to do that, and it's going to make the two little blue, where is it? Yeah, right there, come up, and then push this. So it's showing there's 343. So you take those two numbers. What was the first one? I don't remember. 343 divided by, was it 415? Divided by 415. That gives you an 82% sell-through rate, which is pretty good. I like to, 100% sell-through rate is amazing. If this number comes out more than one, like if there is more sold than there is available, that's super, super good. That means that item is really desirable and it should sell in 90 days or less, as long as you don't price it too high. So yeah, you want to look for as close to that 1 or 100% sell-through rate as possible if you want your items to sell fast. And I think that you should, unless it's something that's like really expensive. But stuff that it's like bread and butter and stuff we can find a lot, I like to look through things that are fast. So hopefully that helped you. I use that all of the time still. Even though I've been reselling for 6 to 7 years, I still look up sell-through rate all the time because it's always changing. For example, Athleta leggings 2 years ago did great. Now they do trash. So I would encourage you to really look up the sell-through rate. I know it takes more time than a thrift store, but it is worth it when you can bring something home and you know that it's going to sell quickly. Next question I had is, how do you find style names of items, and do you use RN numbers? So this is all dependent on the brand. This is different for every single brand, so I cannot give you like one specific answer. Some brands will have the style number printed on a little tag that's usually behind the care information or the material. So like Torrid does, Athleta, Lululemon has size dots where it has little numbers and letters around it. I'm trying to think of brands that I sell a lot. Eileen Fisher doesn't. So for something that doesn't have a style number, I'll try to use my own keywords, and that's how I'll try to look up stock photos on Google. So if it's like a yellow linen dress, I would put in Eileen Fisher yellow linen dress, and I just scroll through the images and see if I can find it. I also have done this before on Poshmark just to see other sold listings. Stock photos are illegal technically, but I think everybody does it. So it's kind of like speeding, like it's illegal, but a lot of people do it at your own risk. On eBay, I never put it as my stock photo. Or I shouldn't say never, very, very rarely I put it as my stock photo. I will put it in like maybe one of the other ones just to show how it fits. Poshmark seems like you can get away with it really good, but there's some brands that will really like crack down on you. So you got to be careful with that. The RN number I never use. That's not something that's really necessary. The only time I've done that is if I'm at the thrift store and I find an item that I think could be decent based on how it feels and it doesn't have the brand tag. You can look up the RN number that way to see what brand it is, but I never use that when I'm listing items for resale. I only use style numbers. And if you can't find a stock photo, I know actually Google Lens is really good for things. So mine doesn't work on my phone, but if you get Google Lens, you can do a screenshot and it will populate stuff that looks like yours, and you might be able to find it that way. But if you can't find a stock photo, I would not waste too much time. Just take good pictures with good lighting, use good keywords and descriptions, and you'll be fine. Next, how do you list? What is the process that you do? How do you check comps? Okay, so I always list on eBay first. This video might be long. Also, it looks like my battery's getting ready to die, so I'll have to come back with this. I always list on eBay first because I do my cross listing from there, and I feel like eBay is where you have to put in the most item specifics and the most information. So that's just where I choose to list at first. I will take all of my pictures. Someone else has a question a little bit further down about my whole process, so I'll get into that. This one's just about listing. eBay first, I put them into drafts every time because like I said, I list out of my drafts. So every day when I'm doing my listings, they directly just get saved as a draft. And then as far as checking comps, I do this while I am listing. I will look up the item on eBay usually, or Poshmark, depending. Some things sell better on Poshmark than eBay. You will just learn that with experience. And I will price mine just a little bit above comps normally, not that high, like $5 to $10 more. I do have my Poshmark or my Posher VA send out 15% offers. If you are interested in using Posher VA, it's super helpful. I wish that I would have done it in the beginning of my Poshmark career because I wasted so much time sending offers and sharing my closet, especially. I do have a discount code down below, so I would highly recommend like getting a robot to do that because do not waste your time sharing and do not waste your time doing all that. They can do all that for you. It's very much worth it. So I check comps there and I just price it a little bit higher. Do you clean your clothes like in the laundry? No. I do not wash any of my clothes unless it is obviously with a stain or a weird smell. I know some people say they do it with everything. I don't feel like doing that. That'd be like a lot of laundry. I mean, I know you can write all that stuff off for taxes, like your laundry detergent and all of that, but I don't. I feel like some people, when they give stuff away anyway, it's coming out of their closet or their drawers where they already had it clean anyway. So no, I do not do that. How many do you list per day? I think I mentioned this before. I do 20. I do put 20 items into my drafts every day. And then from my drafts, I will list out 15 per day. So that's what I'm doing for now. I am still slowly growing my closet. I do have a little over 1,000 items now, which is exciting. I am noticing a jump in my sales, but I also think it's because I am getting better items at the thrift store. Can you trust Poshmark for comps because it hides the sale price if it's sold in a bundle? Yeah, you got to think about that if you're looking on Poshmark for comps, because if you sell 3 items in a bundle, for example, I had a bundle that sold for $75 this weekend, but everything was listed at like $30, $35. And since they sold together in a bundle, Poshmark's going to show that sold price as whatever you had it listed as. So no, you can't trust Poshmark 100%. I would just look at multiple listings for that same item and do the average. That's what I would do. Okay, my battery died like I predicted. So I'm trying to remember where I was. I think it was if you can trust Poshmark for comps. So basically, recap, no, I would look around more, look for that item and make sure it's not just a random one-off. Favorite thing about reselling, I think it is definitely the shopping, that you never know what you're going to find. I find so many amazing things every week that I can't believe people just get rid of. I can't believe how much stuff I find that is new with tags that people just never wore and get rid of. Like, to me, that's my favorite part, is like the thrill of the hunt. So I don't think I would ever do something like wholesale or buying from mystery boxes all of the time. Like, I really like the shopping part. So I think that that's definitely not something I would ever take out of my business. Okay, next, where do you put hashtags in the listing? So as for eBay, I did ask on a recent video from Tech and Sports, who I talked about earlier, because I know he's an eBay expert, where's the best place to put keywords / hashtags? And he said title and item specific is going to be the most things that are going to help you get found, viewed, Google searched, or whatever. Some people put them in their descriptions. I don't know. I looked around a little bit and I don't know for sure if that brings things up or if that helps things get more views. So if I do, sometimes I do put them in descriptions. I always put them in my titles. So I structure my titles in a certain way I will talk about in a little bit. But after I get done my main things about the item, I will put in keywords in the title. And then on eBay, like I said, I list there first. I do as many item specifics as I can. After you do it for a while, it doesn't take that long because you know which ones are relevant and which ones aren't. And then if I do put any in my description, I will put it after like what size it is. I'll just do a short little description and just like put a whole bunch of keywords in that apply to it. On Mercari, it has a spot where you can put in 5 hashtags. On Poshmark, it has a spot where you can put in 3 hashtags / keywords. On Depop, you can put 4 hashtags at the bottom of your description. So it's different for every platform, but I would definitely say make sure you're putting your keywords in your title. Next, do you have a schedule for what days to thrift? Okay, I already talked about that. No. Do you rotate what stores you go to? Okay, so kinda, but not really. As far as Goodwills, I think I have at least 10 Goodwills in my area at about 30 minutes or less away from me. I have 4 thrift worlds. I have some other random St. Vincent de Paul's. I have consignment stores. So I have lots of things and places I can go. What would probably really be smart would be like write down a list of everything and like an order of what part of town they are in, like our south, north, east, west, and like have a route. I haven't done that yet. Probably be a good idea, but usually I try not to hit the same thrift store more than once a week. Sometimes I will though if I'm in the area, and sometimes it still pays off because I'll just look at the new color tag. Like recently I found a new with tags Lululemon jacket a day after I was just at that thrift store. So I don't have a really certain set schedule. I do try to like take some time in between, but no, not anything like for sure. What is the highest price? Wow, I just dropped my clipboard. What's the highest price you paid for something? And what was the profit? So I don't remember. My memory is actually not very good. So I don't remember. I know I've definitely paid at least $100 for things multiple times that I know is gonna sell for a few $100s. For a while, we had a Dillard's clearance store in the area, and I would pay up $50 to $75 for Brahmin bags and flip them for like twice the price or the profit. So I don't know the highest price I've ever paid for something. So I feel bad, but I don't know. And I don't keep track of all of that, how much I pay for each piece. So sadly, that's not a question I can answer. And what was the profit? Sorry. Do you ever come to Des Moines to thrift? No, I have no desire to come to Des Moines to thrift. I'm not trying to be rude, but I literally have so many thrift stores here in Omaha, Nebraska. I don't need to go anywhere else. Like it would be fun to go like on a thrifting road trip, or like if I'm in a bigger city to go thrift there, but I don't need to go anywhere to thrift because like I said, I have probably 20 thrift stores within half an hour of me. So yeah, I don't need to go anywhere else. How do you get stock photos? I kind of talked about this a little bit ago with the style number. I would use style numbers if they have them, or keywords. Also Google Lens can be your friend. How do you handle negative feedback? I literally don't care. I don't care. And it's like, I don't take things personally. That's just not my personality. I don't get offended easily. I don't let things bother me like that. On Poshmark, people can't see what they write anyway, so who cares? Don't worry about keeping a perfect 5-star rating or a perfect 100% rating on eBay. You're gonna have annoying bad customers, and that's just life. That's real life. So I would say don't let it affect you. Just literally be like, if you did all of you can, then just brush it off and move on. Just like when people get like seriously, like so, not offended, but like maybe personally offended, like when people lowball them and stuff, like it's annoying, but I'm like, get over it. Like literally it doesn't matter. It's not worth your stress, and it's not worth you freaking out about. Like, just don't worry about it. It doesn't matter. Most memorable thrift find. So this one, I feel like I've had so many things. So I was thinking back out of all the years I've been reselling. Again, it is kind of hard, but I would probably say I found a Loro Piana leather coat in a random small thrift store in Omaha that is not open anymore. It was $25 and I sold it for $700. So that was amazing. That's probably also one of my highest sales. I've also had some really high sales of a Rick Owens coat, leather again, a Nancy Gonzalez purse, because I did look through my Poshmark of things that I've sold for like over $500. Not very much, but I think that was probably my most memorable find, because I was like, I didn't even know about the brand at the time. And so I remember being in the tiny little crusty thrift store and like looking up Loro Piana leather, and I was like, what? And I'm like putting it in my cart. I'm like, holy crap, like freaking out. I'm telling everybody I know, because I was like kind of a new reseller at the time, and they're like, what? How'd you find that for $25? And I'm like, this is crazy. And yeah, it sold for $700. So that was probably my most memorable. That'd be amazing to find something like that again, but we'll see. And then my last question is, what is the flow of events? Like, what is your process once you bring items home? So I bring everything home. I have a garage downstairs, and my work area is in the basement of this new house. We've been here about 1.5 years now, and I basically have the whole basement for my work, which is amazing. Also a little bit of a workout area. But I will bring in all of my bags and put them right down by a rolling rack. So I have a rolling rack. It's like stainless steel, and I can put a whole bunch of stuff up there. All the bags. If I'm doing a video for my items, which for most of them I do, I keep them down there until I film a video. And then once I film a video, I will hang everything up on the rolling rack. If it needs stain treated, I'll put it in a pile for laundry. The shoes need cleaned, I keep them in a separate pile. And then I list from the items hanging up on the rolling rack. I thought I heard my kid. Yeah, so I take pictures one at a time. So I'll take a picture of something. I do measurements. I write my measurements down on a whiteboard. I take a picture of the measurements on the whiteboard. I put that in my listing. After I take my measurements, I take all of the pictures. I do front and back, any up close pictures, any details. If there's any flaws, I take a picture of the size tag, the material tag, if there's a style number. That way I can look that up when I'm doing my listing. After I do all of that, I take it right over to my table with my bags that I do for storage. So I put it either in a bread bag, which I get from Walmart for my smaller items. Otherwise, I have resealable poly bags for my bigger items. Everything that I use is linked down below in the description. And then I will put it in one of the baggies. So I use either gallon size bags or 2-gallon bags, or if it's super big coat, it goes on another hanging rack that I have. But those bags I just reuse. Like if I sell something from tub A1, once I sell the item, I just put that empty Ziploc bag on that table, and then I can just pick it up and reuse it. So I do that, and then I have a empty tub downstairs. Once I take a picture of the item in the baggie just so I can see the like SKU number, and I put it in there, and then I just go through it. I do all that. So I do 20 things of that. Then once I'm done, sometimes I do my listings right away. It just depends on what I have going on. I will bring everything upstairs, and this is when I listen to a lot of my YouTube videos, is while I'm taking pictures and while I'm listing. So I will bring it upstairs. Sometimes I do it on my walking pad. That's Ellie. Sometimes I do it here on the couch, and I will go through one at a time. Again, like I said, I start on eBay. I look at my item. If it has a style number, I look that up on Google. I get a stock photo. I then go to eBay and Poshmark. I look up comps to see how much it's selling for. I price it a little bit higher, and then I save it as a draft. And I do that for all 20 items. And then every morning when I come to list, I go into my eBay drafts. I launch 15 drafts from eBay. Then I go to eBay, and for my cross-list magic service that I use, I click a little button that auto-populates windows for all of my other platforms. I cross-list everything. That takes me maybe around 20 to 30 minutes. Depends on if I'm distracted or not. And then everything is listed for the day. So that's my process. Hopefully that all made sense. And that's it for the questions. So thank you guys so much if you are still here. I know this is a very different video than I normally do. Again, let me know down below your feedback, what you think, if it's something that you would like me to continue doing every once in a while in the future. And I'll see you guys again soon for another video. Thank you so much for watching. Have a great day.